Hey guys, this is Church of Caboose, and today's video is a kind of a summary of the Season of the Dawn Season 9 expansion that came out on December 10th. But before we get into this, I've been wanting to vent about this for a little bit. As you guys can see on screen, my Sparrow is super slow. I don't know what happened to it. It just stopped working a week ago. It's faster to let off the accelerator than it is anything else, and it's driving me nuts. I've even tried switching sparrows to see if it was I don't know, tied to one sparrow and it was just broken or something. I don't know, but my sparrows go about the same speed someone can sprint, and it's really annoying. And I hope you guys can see, I swear I'm not slowing down the footage. My sparrows are broken. I guess this means my Titan is fat with strength and needs to maybe focus on more cardio. I don't know. But let's get into the main meat and potatoes of this video. What I really want to talk to you guys about today in this video is just kind of a summary of the Season of the Dawn. We're going to talk about the new content, new weapons, and what I believe you'll be spending most of your time doing, assuming you're someone that tries to do the end game and you try to really build your character and to acquire all the stuff that you possibly can. So let's kick it off first with the new content. Well, as you guys have probably noticed, especially if you bought the season pass, you have the Symmetry Exotic Scout Rifle. If you did not buy the game and you're doing free to play, you will get that Scout Rifle at level 35. So good luck, because it'll take a while to level up. And we've also got new ritual weapons. I throw this under new content just because it is new gear. So you just have to get the sidearm from the Vanguard called the Buzzard. You have a shotgun called Python from Gambit, a linear fusion rifle called Komodo 4 FR from PvP. So there's some new stuff with weapons, and we mostly the main new event participation is the Sundial event, which is kind of like Menagerie but not as cool. You do activities within this event to earn points. As you earn points, you'll unlock the boss fight. So the more bosses or the better you do in each of these little activities, the sooner you get to the boss fight. So kind of the similar idea as Menagerie, only in this, instead of you've relics and all that fun stuff, you get to call in a Cabal airstrike. I guess it's kind of a cool new thing they got going on with the Sundial event. And then the other new content, but it's not a playable activity, are the obelisks. The majority of this new content seems to come from the obelisk, though. They are mini sundials that can be found on different planets. To my knowledge, from the internet, there are a total of 4, and 2 of these at least are tied to quests. I will try to have a link down below with more information, but I have not tried unlocking the other 2 yet, because I have found by reading and scrolling through different parts of the obelisk that once you deactivate one, you lose all your progress, and you can only have 2 obelisks activated at a time. So if you don't finish everything on one obelisk you want to finish and you deactivate it, you wasted all those resources leveling it up. And so once I have gotten what I want from my obelisks, the 2 I currently have, I will start messing with the other ones, and I might give you guys more info about the obelisks once that has happened. Speaking of obelisks, let's take a quick look at what you get when you level up these obelisks. So here we go. This is the obelisk on Mars. Again, you get the Mars Entangled Shore obelisk unlocked from quests you pick up from Zavala. So you have bounties you can get. You have the weapon bounties. That way you can farm for rolls of the bounties. I would assume that the weapons are specific to that obelisk, but we will find out as time goes on. You level up your obelisk by turning in these polarized fractaline dealios, and that's how you level up. And as you level up, you can access the rank 5 line and the sand weapon for the Mars obelisk. And then you have down below, you can see you have these little extractors or mods, so to speak, for your obelisk. They do things like give you more glimmer or give you more resources, give you materials when you need to get kills in the Crucible, that kind of a thing. So make sure you guys are taking a look at what your mods or perks are for your obelisk, And as you have your obelisks unlocked and you have acquired the gear you want from all of them, I would consider looking and seeing which ones have the perks you want. And this is another way you can really customize your character, and I think this is really, really neat. There's also mods that you can get that I believe you can only attain these mods by leveling up your obelisk. And we're about to see here we have a rank 7 and a rank 10. So perhaps the highest rank you can get is rank 10 before you start wasting your stuff. And down there you see there's the reset all I was telling you about, because once activated you have to reset it in order to activate a different one. And then if you were to say deactivate this particular obelisk, you could reactivate it by holding the whatever button to I guess activate and use up those resources so you can activate that obelisk. So I believe that covers everything for the new content available so far. There are things like exotic quests and Saint 14 coming out over the next couple of months, but as of right now, the week of December 10th, that is all of the new content. Before we move on, I just wanted to let you guys know I have had people saying they feel really overwhelmed with all of these obelisks, and they're like, hey, could you put in your video what you suggest you would do for trying to get everything done? Guys, just go one obelisk at a time. Like I mentioned, how I want to only get those two all the way done. When I get the gear done, I want to move on to the other ones. So like one at a time, everything will seem way more attainable. You'll use your time more efficiently, and you'll probably have more benefit from focusing on one obelisk because you'll get it all maxed out and everything instead of flipping back and forth between two. That's just my opinion. Do with this as you will. Some people don't think there's a lot of content, but anyways, some people feel overwhelmed, and that's what I would suggest you do. So now we're going to talk about the new weapons. So I've already touched on the ritual weapons that we have. However, we do have the Perfect Paradox that you can attain, and I did just release a video about how to attain the Perfect Paradox. So check that out. I'll have a link for it down below. I also put out a video that, or I guess, content with that video included how to get the Saint 14 gear. So we have at least 5 guns is what I've been finding so far available to earn for the Saint 14 stuff. And I'm sure as content is released, we will have more weapons, such as I know we have 2 exotic quests that are coming out, and it's potential that we could have an exotic version of the Perfect Paradox. And I talk more about that in my video where I talk about how to get the Perfect Paradox. Otherwise, they have the 3 ritual weapons, the sidearm, the linear fusion rifle, and the shotgun. And that really is about it as far as the weapons go. Just make sure you take advantage of the obelisks and farm for those guard rolls, so that way you can get exactly what you want. And that's about all we have to say for the weapons. I will be curious to find out if each obelisk has its own set weapons for it, or if there's some kind of a weekly rotation where you never know what's at what obelisk. We'll find out though with time. So now let's conclude this video by talking about how I think you guys will spend most of your time in game. So you guys may know or may not know, but it has been generally decided that the power cap has only been raised by 10, meaning that powerful rewards will only really help you out until 960, and then to go past 960 you will have to get pinnacle rewards. So odds are a good chunk of you are in that already base power of 950-ish, so it won't take a whole lot of time to get to 960. And so this is going to mean we're going to be playing a lot different than we've had to in past expansions. Past expansions, we've had a lot of focus on trying to power up as opposed to really upgrading and building bases, or so to speak, or in this case, obelisks. So I strongly believe we're going to be spending a lot of time trying to get these polarized flat-line things in order to upgrade our obelisks. We need a lot of them in order to upgrade them, and if everyone needs to get to level 10 in order to get all the rewards, that's going to be a ton of grinding, especially when many activities that do reward these flat-line polarized, whatever, because I'm terrible at English, only reward 10 at a time. So if you need 200, for example, to level up, you got 20 of those activities that reward you 10 to do. Also, guys, there are some triumphs that when you complete them, you will get these materials, and so who knows? I mean, if you're really good at triumph hunting, you will get a lot and you won't need to grind that much. But I think we're going to spend a lot of time in general getting those specific materials. Secondly, I think we're going to be doing a lot a lot of playing that sundial. I know the sundial rewards you with materials. The sundial is really the only new activity, so you're going to probably be playing that quite a bit in order to have new shots at weapons. But I have noticed too, when you complete a sundial, you do have the opportunity to purchase a new roll of a weapon you've already acquired for these Fractaline, Polarized, whatever thingies. And so that's one way to farm rolls and try to get that god roll of a weapon. We're going to also be spending a metric butt ton of time trying to level up our season ranks. And so let me just show you guys some footage to show you why I believe this is the case. So here's a look at the season ranks. As you guys can tell, for the most part, it's very, very similar as it was before. As you can see where I was highlighting, the season ranks will tell you if you have paid for the expansion or not by saying that the battle pass is active. Unlike normal, we've got various awards like weapon ornaments, exotic engrams, the seasonal engrams, the resource materials, armor, experience, that kind of thing. So the rewards are very similar to before, only they're themed for the season. So that's really the only difference between now and before. The huge difference comes with these different bonuses, as you can see down here on the bottom, the season pass bonuses. So you've got like XP bonuses, you've got currency bonuses. Just keep watching along down screen, but pretty much the more you play and you rank up, your character gets extra buffs. And the best one I can see so far is quest bonus, because as you rank up, once you activate that quest, you get more and more progress for doing the same stuff, which is why it would make sense that a lot of these quests seem to have percentage-based progress as opposed to sheer just like do 100 of this. Because if you get these the quests increased experience, whatever thing, upgraded, you will then get through these quest objectives a lot faster, and I would imagine that's a lot easier to code and everything if you have it based on percentages instead of numbers. And then we're going to look at the artifacts. I think the artifact is going to be another huge thing we have to grind for and try to level up. It is very similar to last season's artifact in that it has unstoppable rounds, it's got anti-barriers, that kind of thing. And by the way, I think the lantern is very beautiful, and I don't even have it fully upgraded yet. So let's take a look on screen. Instead of having an SMG focus though, it's mostly pulse rifles, scout rifles, bows, and auto rifles. So basically almost everything that we did not use last season on a consistent basis. I don't have these perks here on the end leveled up, but if you're working on your PvP ritual weapon, you probably want to upgrade and get the enhanced linear fusion targeting. It'll probably make your life easier, so that way you have an easier time getting those linear fusion rifle kills whilst in the Crucible. So there's a little free pro tip. So in conclusion, I think you guys are going to be spending a lot of time playing for grinding for those resources, trying to level up your obelisk, trying to level up your season rank, and trying to level up your artifact. If they make exotic quests really grindy, because there's only 2 of them, those could take up a lot of time as well. But we'll see. Could be another Leviathan's Breath fiasco where you can get it done in like an hour. So let's wrap this whole thing up with my thoughts about the experience so far. I heard a lot of complaints about this season before I even played. People saying there wasn't enough stuff to do. So I did come into this expecting very little when I hopped online for the first time since this season dropped. And I ended up being very pleasantly surprised. I had very low expectations, but when I hopped in and I saw like the obelisks and the weapons and just like the amount of more tedious detail, like hey, I can really build my character. That was really cool. I really liked that a lot. Downside is you only have one new actual activity with the sundial. There's also a couple of new mechanics within the sundial, such as calling in an airstrike. That you pick up a relic, throw it at the dude, and the Cabal drop an airstrike to destroy the shield instead of like the relic itself, like exploding on impact and doing damage. And I thought that was really cool. I also really like how the Saint 14 themed gear and weapons are colored and how they look. I just love it. Like, they look so good. They feel great. They have like that whole like unique deal with the grenade launcher, and I talk more about that in my other video that has to do with the Saint 14 gear. Some downsides with this new season are that we don't really have a new raid, which is pretty disappointing. We all like having new raids. And we seem to have only gotten the sundial for new like gameplay to experience. And there was not that much story. Like there wasn't a campaign. You just kind of hopped in, unlocked a couple of obelisks, and that was really it. But keep in mind, we are saving Saint 14 next week, so maybe we're getting story released as the season progresses. Excuse me. Positives. I do like the new weapons and the direction they went with the look and the armor shape. The changes to the season rank structure and the artifact are more rewarding because it doesn't seem like people will be able to hit some insane rank number in like 2 days. Like dudes this last season, I think got as high as like season rank 400, something like that. But you know, I didn't Google it. It's just kind of when I was seeing updates on Twitch and Twitter as people were playing. So feel free to check that out. Whereas like now I've been playing a fair bit for like 2 days and I'm only at season rank 8. So like, that's pretty nice to not be just like level up. And then the artifact is pretty similar. The artifact actually seems to level up significantly faster than last season. So you probably won't have a whole lot of time where you're like, oh gosh, only a week left and I gotta get my artifact done. Nah, I could probably get it done in plenty of time. But it is pretty nice to have all these new changes to the artifacts, such as making us worry more about pulse rifles and making us worry more about scout rifles instead of all recluse. And in conclusion, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I don't ask for this often, but if you do appreciate this video, do me a huge favor, slap the like button, share this video, click subscribe. My main purpose is to give you guys an idea of what to expect from this season so far, what stuff you'll be playing, and to give you an idea of if you want to buy the pass for this season, because you know Bungie has everything split up so you can buy individual seasons, so maybe you're waiting. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a first impressions review, and I hope I accomplished that for all of you guys. If you want to see more about me, click the subscribe button. Feel free to check out my socials and check out, and comment down below if you would like, and I can send you an invite to like the Church of Caboose like Discord server thing. Thanks so much, guys. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.